Have you ever looked at a close friend's face and felt a sudden chill? Just yesterday, you shared tea and laughed at the same old jokes. But today, they look at you as if you are a complete stranger. We often call these silent exiters cold, selfish, or heartless. Yet the truth behind their sudden departure will completely surprise you. Consider Aarav, a quiet IT professional working in Bengaluru. He is the kind of partner who always says yes to everything. When Priya is late for their date, he simply smiles and reassures her. Even when she forgets their anniversary, he buys the cake himself. Everyone tells Priya she is incredibly lucky to have him.
Then, on a quiet Tuesday evening, the pattern suddenly breaks. Priya sends her usual messages, but the blue ticks do not appear. The silence stretches into the night, leaving her deeply unsettled. Because of his history of patience, she assumes he is just busy. She has no idea that a final decision has already been made.
The next morning, Aarav finally answers her call. His voice is calm, flat, and completely devoid of any warmth. He says they should end things without offering any explanation. There is no anger, no shouting, and absolutely no tears. This lack of emotion is far more terrifying than any argument. Within minutes, his profile picture on WhatsApp vanishes completely. Instagram, LinkedIn, and even his phone number are blocked. It is as if the last 5 years of their lives never existed. Priya is left staring at a screen that offers no closure. How can someone erase a deep bond in just 5 minutes? We easily label these people as cold, cruel, or detached. We assume they lack the courage to face difficult conversations. But psychology reveals that the reality is actually the opposite. These are often the people who tolerated the most for years. Their silence is not a lack of care, but total exhaustion. Think of human patience as a finite bank account. Every time we overlook a slight, we make a withdrawal. Most people demand deposits of respect to keep the balance high. But silent exiters let their accounts run deep into the negative. They give and give until there is absolutely nothing left. In India, the pressure of Khandaan makes this even worse. We are taught to suppress our feelings for family harmony. Aarav spent years smiling through intrusive questions at Diwali gatherings. He swallowed his anger to keep the peace for his parents. But every suppressed emotion was a tiny crack in his foundation. We often fear arguments, but anger is actually a sign of hope. When someone fights with you, they still believe you can change. They are investing their emotional energy to fix the connection. But when the anger disappears, it means they have given up. Silence is the ultimate proof that hope has died completely. Their mind becomes like a well during a harsh summer. The water did not vanish in a single afternoon. It evaporated slowly, drop by drop, over many months. By the time you ask for a drink, it is completely dry. There is no water left to give, and no tears left to cry. This process works exactly like a controlled demolition.
engineers do not use missiles to destroy a massive building. Instead, they quietly place small explosives on key pillars. Because of this careful planning, the structure collapses inward. It takes only 5 seconds for the entire building to fall.
You plant these charges every time you ignore their needs. When you dismiss their worries, a pillar is weakened. When you break a promise, another charge is set. They continue to smile, so you assume everything is fine. But the internal system is already prepared for collapse. Then comes a completely ordinary Tuesday evening. One tiny, insignificant mistake cuts the very last wire. They press the button, and the relationship vanishes instantly. You are shocked by how quickly they walked away. But the demolition was actually planned months ago. Our brains are wired to find shortcuts to save energy. Instead of analyzing every action, we look for patterns. We categorize people into mental folders based on their behavior. Once a pattern is set, the brain rarely changes its mind. If you have a better way to handle this, share it in the comments, and please subscribe. Silent exiters keep a highly detailed mental ledger. On March 5th, you arrived 30 minutes late without apologizing. On April 12th, you made a hurtful joke at a family dinner. When the 4th incident is recorded, their brain makes a decision. You are permanently moved to the unsafe folder. While you are busy living, they are quietly mourning. Psychologists call this process anticipatory grief. They grieve the loss of the relationship while still in it. They hold tiny, private funerals for their hopes every single night. By the time they leave, they have already processed the pain. This is why your dramatic, tearful apologies always fail. You are trying to save a building that has already collapsed. They needed that apology 6 months ago, when they still cared. Back then, they were desperately waiting for you to notice. Now, your words are just empty noise in an empty room. A shopkeeper does not slam the shutters without warning. They slowly turn off the lights and pack up the goods. First, they stop asking you questions about your day. Second, they stop complaining when you make a mistake. Finally, their warmth is replaced by polite, professional kindness. If you see these signs, stop making empty promises. They do not want to hear that you will change. They want to see a concrete system that prevents the mistake. Set alarms, write down rules, and build real boundaries. That is why the minutes from that room have never been fully released. And if you are the one who always stays silent, listen closely. Your endless patience is not always an act of love. Sometimes it is just a way to avoid difficult conversations. Speak up when the disappointment is still small and manageable. Will we choose to build stronger bridges or just keep walking away?